welcome to the SkyTour live stream on this beautiful April 27th, 2022. The skies in Arizona are stunning tonight, and we're going to try and make use of that. Before we get into stunning skies, I also want to talk or mention that our co-host tonight is, of course, Daryl Mason. Hey, Daryl, how you doing?
Oh, Mark, I'm good. You still sound a little quiet.
Well, I'm not. I'm pretty loud here. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but don't worry about it. We'll be okay. We should be fine. In regards,
my settings are where they always are.
That's fine. So I want to welcome everybody to the SkyTour live stream tonight. We are actually looking forward to a nice night out there. It looks pretty nice, and the sky is still in the twilight phase, as you can see. The sky has still got some brightness to it. So we started at 10:45 because the more we go into summer, unfortunately, the more we have to worry about the sky being light the later on into the evening. So we have to just work on that. So we're going to pick a bright star and we're going to play with it. And we're going to make sure that the star actually gives us what we need, and we'll be able to focus. And normally I pick Sirius, and I might be able to do that. Hey, Richard Spencer's here. Hi there. Drexy, how you been? That Drexy BTW is my niece's son. I believe that's Mike. Mike, is that you? I believe it is. And I want to say hi to Daisy and Zoe Amethyst, and I want to say hi to Papa Tom. DK is here. PG, hello Petita, how are you? I'll see you in just a few weeks. And Vera Lucia Campos, via Brasil. Está aquí. Hello there, Vera. Nice to see you. And we have, let's see, who else was that? We have Izabela. There's Izabela. Hi, Iz. How are you?
Izabela.
Yeah, we love you, Izabela. You know that. You do so much for us.
And hello, everybody.
And Papa Tom. That's right. So, I want to just say hi. Okay, Tim F. and Rascally is here. Rascally Rabbit, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Judy McClelland, hi there. And I am... Oh, look at the date. Why does the date say that wrong date? She's right. That's the wrong date. Oh, I know why that's the wrong date. It's going to correct itself in just about 10 seconds. You ready? Watch this. Here it comes. And boom. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out. You are absolutely right. Calabos, how are you? All right. So we'll just sit here now and let this do its thing as the sky gets darker. But while we're here, let's look at our planetarium program that we use. This planetarium program that you see right there on the screen is basically a driver program that will drive the telescope around. And I absolutely love it. It's really, really cool. So we're going to use that. And we're going to bring up our equatorial lines here. And you can see Sirius is falling way down toward the horizon now.
Yeah.
But we still have Procyon up there. So we're going to actually drive the telescope up to Procyon just to see what we got up there. I think that the reason I'm doing that is because I want to, first of all, stress the telescope just a little bit. Well, there's one star right there. I'll use that. That's good.
I can see the cleaver in Canis Major.
Where? In Stellarium?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's in Stellarium. Yep. Oh,
That
we got
shape.
some stars.
It's shaped like a meat cleaver.
Right here?
The dog's tail is the handle.
Yeah.
And then his back legs and his front leg and foot and Sirius makes the blade as a cleaver. Kind of see a rectangle. Do you see that?
Yeah, let's see. This is this is the dog. The tail here is the handle.
Yes.
And this is the cleaver?
Yeah, that rectangle makes the cleaver.
Okay. Very cool. Very nice. Papa Tom says he's in northern Minnesota and have almost the same skies as you do. So you're saying you have a very dark sky? We have a dark sky. It only looks bright because the sun is just having set a little while ago out there. Ah, it's so nice to be back live here, Daryl. This is fun.
Yeah. Hang in there, Calabos.
Calabos, wait, you had surgery, angiogram, and double stent. Oh, wow. Well, Calabos, I don't know if you know this, but I've had heart surgery 3 times. You know? And, hey, I'm still here. And it wasn't for heart disease. It was actually for a genetic defect when I was born. So they've been trying to keep up with it. But, hey, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by, though, Calabos. So anyway, oh, Richard Sky. Okay, thank you, Papa Tom. So now we'll use these stars, like I said. So let's go back into our main view here. There we go. Now we got lots of stars here we can use for our focus. We could probably do a focus now. I like doing the critical focus, but first things first. Let's actually connect to the critical focus. There we go. All right, now our focuser is connected, and we're going to take it out of focus.
Is here.
Marianne Rob is here. Hey, Marianne, how are you? I was talking to her earlier. For those that don't know Marianne Rob, she is a former Gilbert, Arizona police officer, now happily retired, and she is almost full-time with SkyTour Livestream as its project manager. We're trying very hard to increase our donations and get to the point where we can... None of us are taking any money from this, but we want to actually get to the point where we can have a self-sustaining educational outreach system and have several of them all over the country. So we're looking forward to doing that. All right, let's try our multi-star full width half maximum. There we go. And let's scan in, and this will give us our focal point. It's going to build a curve, as you always hear me say. It's going to build a parabola. And that parabola will have at the bottom, at its focal point, all right, the lowest point, that's going to be the prime perfect focus location. So the telescope is now going through a series of steps to focus inward to see if it can find a curve. And we have plenty of stars to do that. 10:45 is a good start time, as you can see, because we don't have to wait for stars. Hi, Cindy Murphy. I understand, Calabos. Here we go. There's our curve. You can see it right there. And the point of best focus is right here in the center. And as soon as we get a green line up here, you'll see that it's finished doing the focal routine, and I'll be able to tell it to take us to that position. Take us to that position, number 1. So here we go. And now we go to the best position. Go ahead, Daryl.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, here we go. All right. And that is our position of best finest focus. So we can get rid of this. And I'm going to turn on temperature compensation over there. And that makes it so that the telescope will change its focus as the temperature changes out there. So Looks nice. We got a lot of good stars out here.
You do.
And as a test exposure, okay, this is with no enhancement at all. With a test exposure, let's actually try. Let's do a 6-second exposure, just of this region of the sky, which don't even know where it is. It doesn't matter. And let's stack it and see just how bad it looks right now. Okay. Alright, well, that's not so bad. Got to move our black level over a little bit.
Thank you, Vera.
Drexy's saying, do you use a green screen or just a dark room in the background? Actually, I'll show you what that is. It's actually a transparency function. Because this is the background. Ta-da! So this is what's behind me in my battleship office. Right. So the whole, you can see my portholes. You see portholes right here. Here, right there. There's a porthole there. There's another porthole there. From an actual battleship. So that's actually what it looks like. And then what I do is I put on the transparency so that I can point and talk to you about things that are going on the screen, because otherwise I can't. Alright, so let's just adjust our black level here. Actually, let's do a color correction to bring our color curves in line with each other a little better. There we go. These diagonal streaks are not satellites. These are an artifact on the filter or the lens system, and when I go out there in July, I will be taking apart the entire optical train and finding where this is. And that's not going to be fun.
They're so parallel.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that is.
And the first two on the left are evenly spaced.
Yeah.
First three.
Mm-hmm.
Science Bob.
Hey, Science Bob. How are you? Science Bob, I saw that picture of you with Katie. She sent it to me. It's really nice to put a face to the name. Alright, so that's a lot of stars, man. Okay. Now that we've got that, let's go see if we can find our way to something we'd like to see. Well, let's first of all come back in here and dump the stack and give us a hybrid view and go down to 1 second. This is the kind of guitar stuff I really like. This is I just put on blues tracks sometimes and just play the guitar to them. Don't even know what the track's going to be, but they're pretty much all you can read the music and sense where it's going.
And Bonnie's here.
Bonnie is Anahata 77. Hello, Bonnie. She's funny. I had a feeling I should hurry home. Hello, beautiful people, she says. That's cool. Yeah, I know you had a good time in Vegas. That's great. Okay. There goes a satellite. Probably a Starlink satellite. I really can't complain about them because they're going to be our main source of internet shortly. It's up and running out there, but unfortunately there was a slight delay. We do have the hardware now, so we're just waiting to get the hardware installed to give us what we need out there. Now, before I go further, I actually wanted to show you something, and that does require that I show you the background again. Okay, so, this is for you, Daryl. One of the things that I talk about, and I'll be talking about this Friday. There's a show I'm going to be on, and I'd like to actually make this point because I'm going to use it in the show. We know that the universe is expanding, and it's expanding at a fairly rapid rate, actually, and it's expanding and accelerating as it's expanding. Well, to show that, I have a little object here to show you how this is a very expensive balloon. Not really. And all I did was put black dots on it. Now, I want you to notice that this balloon is going to be the universe expanding, okay? And when I blow into it, these points here around the nozzle nearest where I'm blowing it up are going to move out and away. And every black object, every black dot, which is a galaxy, right, or a cluster of galaxies, is going to move away from every other galaxy on this balloon, right? But in addition, those further away down at the end here are going to move away faster and quicker, all right? So just watch and observe, okay? So here is all the dots. Now watch. Okay, these dots up here didn't go very far from the nozzle, but these dots went several inches, even half a foot, away from the nozzle, okay, in that short amount of time. This is a model. This silly balloon is a model for how the universe is accelerating outward as it expands. And it's doing it in 3 dimensions, meaning everything inside the balloon is also expanding. Think of that as the air molecules, also as galaxies or whatever inside. And that the inevitable question becomes, what's here? What's here? We know what's inside here when we can see that, right? But we can't really see that. We can see out to the cosmic microwave background, which is about 13.6 billion years ago. And we can't really see past that because the universe was opaque at that point. It's only after atoms started forming and the nuclei of atoms began to attach electrons to them that the universe became more transparent and light, photons, okay, were able to escape. Light is an indicator. It's a force carrier for the electromagnetic force, which is one of the fundamental 4 forces. You have strong, weak, electromagnetic, and gravity, right? And those four forces, fundamental forces, those photons couldn't get out until the universe cooled. And so once it cooled, that's what happened. And we noticed that it expands. Edwin Hubble, actually, in 1926, began to notice that the universe was expanding. And when he noticed it was expanding, he did more studies and found that, sure enough, just like that expanding balloon, those galaxies farther from us are expanding faster from us than those closer to us. And that became known as, Daryl knows this answer. Daryl, you wanna?
Go ahead.
That parameter that the parameter that determines how fast the galaxy is moving away from us is called the redshift. And thus, that's what we saw. Anyway, that's exactly what we see. Anyway, so there you go. That's a little primer on the expanding universe, and it's okay to hear because look, we're waiting for the universe here to get dark for us as well. We want a dark universe, right? But we don't want it too dark because then that would be a sign that the universe is actually dying. And another theory for how the universe will eventually end is that the universe will suffer what's called a heat death, meaning lack of heat. All the last stars will have formed and blown up, and then they'll just be cooling. Everything will start cooling.
Entropy.
Entropy, that's right.
Entropy goes downhill.
Yeah.
Along with other things.
Yeah. So as you can see, the study of the universe and cosmology takes many forms. And we study the universe, and we study different aspects of the universe. But one of the things that is very important for us to study is where the universe is going and where it's been, and that's kind of what we do. And then for astronomical observing like this, like tonight, this is public outreach. This is what we do for you because we want to share the universe with you. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. Let's go and check out place to go. Let's bring up objects that we can see. There we go. Oh, this is a beautiful place to go while we're waiting for galaxies to come up. I do know that the coordinates for this are not correct in the database. It's not my database, but there goes the telescope. You see it moving right there. Hey, have fun. Find our stuff. And the telescope's going to go to a waypoint star, a star that will serve as the waypoint to the Beehive Cluster. And it's going to go to where it thinks the Beehive is. And hopefully, I think the Beehive is incorrect in here, but we'll find out. Here's Epsilon Hydra. Okay. It centers it up. Okay. And then it will go to that star. I'm sorry, that cluster. And we'll do this little this is my hybrid view, I like to call it. All right, and now we should go to the Beehive Cluster. Yep. And it's actually not here yet because it's wrongly defined in the database. I guess nobody thought that someone was going to actually go try and find it. All right, we're going to move at a slower rate here. And we're going to move the telescope a little bit to the west. So that means this way. And you'll see the Beehive come into view here. You can't miss it. They're very bright. Here they come. There's the Beehive. Yeah, looks nice. Alright, and then we'll just move up a little north. There we go. Yeah. Clusters of stars like this, could one day foster growth of other stars that are smaller, more like the sun. And they don't have to be exactly like the sun to be able to support life. They can actually be a little hotter than the sun. And of course, they can be much cooler than the sun and smaller. And that's what we see with the M-class dwarfs, the red stars that we see in so many of these images that we take. Those M-class dwarfs only have a surface temperature of like 3,000 Kelvin. It's just very, very small. Look at that. There's the Beehive. What a beautiful cluster. What a beautiful cluster. All right, let's go work on our guiding system for a second. Let's go down and set our east to west rate. And I'm going to set that to 15.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. On last Sunday's show, which we simultaneously streamed on SkyTour live stream,
Yes.
we got so carried away talking about other things. I forgot to mention, mark your calendars. There's going to be a total lunar eclipse on May the 15th.
Oh, you know what? Next Sunday's show, we will make sure we mention it.
Okay.
Yeah, so make a note to do that, because if we could see it, we're going to run it.
Yeah, South America and Eastern North America will have the best view. I don't think Europe will have a view at all, unfortunately, Izabela. And Western North America, both here in Colorado and where Mark's observatory is at in Arizona, we're going to miss the early part, the penumbral phase. But it should be up by the time the partial phase begins. And we should be good thereafter.
Okay. Well, make sure you stick around, because last time we watched the lunar eclipse, we caught a meteor striking the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be cool to watch. If it happens again. But it actually is relatively often that meteors will strike the moon. Several a year are actually seen. It just so happened we saw one on an eclipse night, which is actually the rarer part of that process.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is we're going to actually do I'm going to do a test here. We're going to do a 15-second shot, which is technically should be too much, but we're going to get rid of the hyper view because that'll blow it right out. And we'll just go to a live stack and see what we get. Let's clear the previous shot and check this out. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that's pretty. And that's kind of an average shot. Let's color correct to get all the curves aligned with each other. There we go. And now let's do a correction. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I mean, this music is perfect for when you look at a star cluster and you think, wow, what a beautiful cluster that we're seeing. And you just think of all these jewels in the night sky, and there we go. We're looking at them. And when you see these numbers down here, this is our guide system working. If it says searching, then it's not found a star. When it actually has this numbers changing, it shows that it's actually moving the telescope slightly to make sure the exposures don't get rocked the wrong way. Oh, this is nice. Let's zoom in a little bit. That's right, let's zoom in here. Let's see what we got here.
Looks like there's some reddish stars in the cluster.
Yeah. You mentioned the last time we talked about this, there was one here. And there's one up higher. Okay, actually it's up here as I go up here. And we also have a galaxy seen through this cluster, I think. There it is. Right there. And so it is galaxy season. But one thing I want you to notice is, look at all these red stars. See all those? These red stars are really small and faint. None of them can be seen without a telescope. That green line is an artifact of the camera. Don't worry about that. Actually, it's tracing the path the telescope is moving to do corrections. But this is just beautiful. I'm going to find out what galaxy that is. Actually, we should be able to tell. You know how? I am going to come in here to our Stellarium, and we're going to bring up the dialog box to bring out more deep sky objects, which are called DSOs. And we're going to use a Caldwell catalog of objects, the Barnard catalog of dark objects, Sharpless catalog, not the Vandenberg, but we will use Lund's Bright Nebula, Lund's Dark Nebula, Melamed, ARP. ARP is also a good one. This is one that I've seen before and used. Okay. Atlas of Peculiar Galaxies. So let's see if our galaxy that we see in here is actually going to show up in here. It might be a different designation, but let's find out. Let's move into that area. Oh. There we go. Yeah, we got it right there. And what is this one? It is NGC 2637. There's actually two more as well. I see them right there. There's one there, there's one there. Those are probably these two down here. Actually, let's just get this straightened out here. This is our telescope view. Alright. So right, okay, so let's go back. See where we're looking here. We actually have 4 galaxies right in a row through the middle of this cluster. Let's drop out a bit.
I thought I saw 5 or 6.
Yeah, but there's 4 in a row.
Okay.
In that were obvious. We have this one, we have this one, right? And then we come back a little bit more, and I'm going to color correct again. Color correction actually helps us distinguish. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's nice. Let me we're going to do something called pushing. We're going to actually drag our mid levels toward our dark levels to kind of squeeze more data up to the top. That's effectively what it's doing. So as I do that, you'll see that happen. And it really can make, yeah, see? Makes things show up. So let's go see. I mean, just look at that jewel box. Is that not beautiful? That is just a beautiful, beautiful cluster. Wow, so we have one here, and it's, there's one there. Let's go back here. Stellarium. All right. Okay, so here's our 2 stars that are here, right? And this square represents our view. So you notice it's on an angle because the telescope is leaning over, as you can see in the right over my head. It's kind of leaning that way, so we're on an angle at the sky, right? And boy, that's really pretty. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's bring that crosshair to the center and align. Okay, so we'll have one to the right, and then we have one over here, and these little round, these little ellipses are galaxies. And maybe I need more catalogs up to show the others. That's pretty cool, though. I actually never noticed galaxies in the Beehive before. Have you seen those?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I see 2 there at the lower right hand.
Lower right?
Just to the left of your cursor.
Okay, so one there and one there.
2 there. 2 there, yeah. Real close.
Yeah, I see them. Look at that. Wow. That's a fairly well-defined galaxy.
Mm.
Yep.
Itty bitty, but it's there.
Yeah. Itty bitty. Well, that means in universal terms it's far away, man. As you know. Okay, so All right, so now we back out a little more. Well, this is cool though. I mean, this is really a pretty image. So we'll be able to analyze this in more detail later. But again, keep in mind this is Messier 44, which is known as Persepi. All right, and it is an open cluster, so we give it an OC designation, as you see, and I'm writing that in up top here. All right. All right, and that is the name right here. M44. It's a gorgeous open cluster. I like starting the night with M44. It's just, I don't know, something about it. It goes back to my childhood, seeing it for the first time in a telescope. You look through the eyepiece, there it is. Oh, really something. Ginger ale.
I remember when I could see M44 naked eye.
Yeah, it was a naked eye object. Still is, depending on where you go.
Right.
At the observatory site, we can see it with the naked eye. But it literally gets lost among all the other stars, to be honest. You know how you look at Orion and you see, of course, you see Betelgeuse and Bellatrix and Rigel and Safe, and then the 3 stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. You say, well, there's Orion. You know what? In a dark sky site, it's easy to actually get lost trying to look in Orion. There's so many stars that you actually have trouble picking out Orion's shape. No lie. There's so many stars. And it's not that they're much brighter. They're not, but there's such a subtle blanket of stars in addition to all the main stars that you can't really see the like Safe. It's hard to see Safe, lower left, in Orion. It's actually hard to see Safe. Really something. All right, let's do a little processing here. Change that up a little bit and color correct one more time. There we go. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, you can see the galaxies. But let me just make them just a little more obvious. Okay. Alright. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is we have stacked 43 of these. So I think that's a pretty good stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I've made my name up here, M44 Open Cluster. And now we're going to say save. Okay. And the save is going to save, as I always tell you, the save is going to save the raw stack. Alright. And then it's, you'll see it in green across the top there. And that's an astronomical fits file. You can get free viewers for those online if you want to. Then I'm going to save it exactly as seen. And that'll be a PNG file, which you can just double click and enjoy. Now, these are going to our free server. So you'll be able to see these moments from now on our server and go check out these images just as you see them here. So it's pretty cool. And I like that we can do that for you.
Thank you, Izabela.
Did she put up the oh, there she did. She put up the link.
She must be psychic.
I think she is. You know, I'm psycho, she's psychic. Yeah. All right. Well, that's right. All right, let's get out of the Beehive and let's now go back to our 1 second exposure and then give ourselves a hybrid view again so we can see things going on behind the scenes out there. And let's go check out our planetarium view again and decide where we're going to go. I think that what we're going to do, first of all, let me bring back my little computer here. There we go. And I think it's dark enough to now start seeing some cool things out there. When is do you happen to know? I know M13 is, not quite ready for prime time yet, but we're actually gonna try and find other globular clusters here. I think we have M3 nearby.
You do?
Along with the Galaxies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe we'll check out M3. So why don't we look for that now?
Yeah, that's up in Coma, if I remember right, or
Yeah.
up toward Arcturus, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So let's go check it out. What's its altitude? Its altitude 45 degrees. That's borderline. We tend, if you look overhead here, guys, if you look in the observatory, this wall here represents the eastern view. This wall here is toward the north, and then what's coming out of the screen toward us is the southern side, and the western side is over there. So this side here, the lights of Phoenix, although invisible to your eye, will show up to the camera. So we just try to ignore that side of the sky, because those things in the east are going to eventually make their way to us, where the sky is beautiful. There's just a subtle sky glow in that direction, which for an astronomer is always too much. Izabela, correct. It is a globular cluster. Hello, Jessica S. C&D boy, how are you? Good to see you guys. All right, let's check out.
Not to detract from M3 yet, since we haven't even looked at it. We've got another globular over on the very right-hand edge of the Stellarium screen.
I see that. That's M5, right? Or M53 or something?
M52? 53?
I think it's 53.
Okay, let's do M3 first, and we can check out 53.
Okay. Yeah, that's M3 is actually more a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
A little better known.
Yep. So here we go. Wow, thank you. Thanks, Desi. That's very nice. NGC 6302. Desi's requesting NGC 6302. Can you look that up and tell me where that is? Thank you. NGC 6302.
Just a moment.
No worries.
Oh. It's not up yet. It won't be up for quite a while. It's the Butterfly Nebula in Scorpius.
Oh. Desi, I'm sorry. I apologize. Here we go. But look what we got. We have a nice, beautiful globular cluster. Desi, when summer rolls around, you're going to be suitably impressed, I think. Because we have an awful lot of really pretty objects to see. And now that the telescope is collimated, we're not going to have any problem seeing them very, very nicely. I've literally deleted a lot of the files from before that I thought were good. And after seeing them collimated, it's like, oh my gosh. They're just not good at all. So I had to get rid of them. Okay, so here's Messier 3. Why don't we actually take a nice exposure of this, but we're going to actually just do a 12-second exposure. All right, 12 seconds because, and we'll stack it too, and I'll explain what we're doing. Because when we actually look at this object, we could easily overexpose the middle because it's actually really kind of too bright for our camera. Look at that, right? that is a beautiful exploding snowball of stars. And let's color correct, and there we go. All right. So what we can do is just move our black level over just a bit, like that. And now you can see this beautiful, beautiful object. And let's actually just pull this down, just kind of give us a full screen here. All right. Look at that, huh? Now that's a beautiful globular cluster. Not bad, Daryl.
Yeah, that's very nice. Very bright center.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Desi says, I can't wait. It'll be around my birthday. So just know I'll be back requesting it then. Thanks for all your channel does. No, that's okay. Not a problem. We more than happy to do it. And as you can see, we do take requests. You know?
Yeah, the butterfly is in the tail of the scorpion, and it won't be up till high enough to see. It won't be up till very late.
Yeah, longer than we've got tonight.
Local midnight, yeah. I mean, Scorpius is rising now. I'd have to take a look really quick, but it's up before midnight, I believe. Just breaking the southeastern horizon. But that's the head end of the Scorpion, and the tail follows, and it probably wouldn't be high enough to see, I would guess, until at least 2 a.m.
Well, why don't we turn off the ground here, and we can see where Scorpius is going to be. Whoops, not there. Wrong direction. All right. That's east, southeast. All right, and this is the summer Beehive, the Dark Horse Nebula. Okay, this is the stuff that's rising, and here comes the Milky Way down here, see? And where's the ground? Well, here's where the ground is, look. Okay, so we have a substantial amount of time before that actually makes its way. Think of it as all rotating this way along those blue curves. Let me get rid of these other lines. Okay, these are the blue curves. These right here are latitude lines extended out into space. These are our longitude lines extended out into space. And so we're inside of all this looking out. Right? So it gives us a numerical system to be able to gauge where things are and know what things are coming up. So you can see we have a little ways to go. And down here in Sagittarius and Scorpius, which is over here, and actually to see where it is, all we have to do is bring up our star mythology. Down here is the tail of the Scorpion, right? And so you're looking for is it the butterfly cluster? No, NGC 6302, correct? Is that what she said? He said, she said, I'm not sure.
6302.
6302, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be at its highest for me at 3:38 this morning.
Okay.
And for you, it'll be a half hour later.
Okay.
And the sky will actually be starting to get bright then.
Okay. And so to see exactly where that is, while our globular cluster is coming in so beautifully, this is where we're going to go.
I mean, there's the teapot right there.
Right here. Yeah, alright, so here's 6302. It claims. Wait, that says 6302 is the Butterfly Nebula or the Bug Nebula. And I know we can see it because I've checked it out when it was up. So, and it's kind of small, but we do see it. But we'll check that out. We'll be happy to do that for you, Desi. Without a doubt. All right. So let's bring our ground back. And now we can stop looking at the ground and get back up in the sky. And we are currently at Messier 3, which is here. Yep, there we are. And we'll zoom in now. It's nice not having a moon to disrupt us, huh?
Yep. Moon's getting close to new, though. It'll be back in
A few days.
Yep.
Okay. Again, this red square represents our field of view. That's 4 full moons across and 3 full moons tall. And here we're actually zoomed in quite a lot. We're zoomed in to 125% of our sensor. Let me show you what that looks like. This right here, this is, if we crunch this down and we fit it all to the screen, this is what it looks like, okay? But we can zoom in as much as we want, and we can do it as an arbitrary amount too. We can actually say, oh, let's just zoom in here and just scroll in, and there we go, and keep going. So this is 200%, all right? And of course, now we're at the limits of the resolution of the system because it is a wide angle system. And it looks pretty. Oh yeah, jeez. Now these objects are called halo objects. They actually are going around our galaxy, and they're farther away. Messier 3, I forget how far it is. Let's go actually get a distance to it. And sometimes they give the right distance, and sometimes they don't. But this one says it's 32,000 light years away. Well, that's about the distance that we are from the center of our galaxy. So this is quite a ways away from us. And these stars you see here, these are all up here in the foreground. All right? These globular clusters way out here. It's not among those stars. It's a halo object that's much further out, way out here. And these stars are all up here. So you're just seeing them silhouetted, not silhouetted, but you're seeing them superimposed on this here. You know? So, it's good music for a globular cluster, don't you think? So,
are you asking me?
No, I'm asking everybody, because you can't hear the music.
I can't hear the music.
Well, I didn't share it with you because it caused problems last time.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be a problem. We should try it again, because I fixed a lot of the sound issues. All right, anyway, we've stacked quite a number of these. We've stacked 40 of these images, and I think that's pretty good. So let's do one thing. Let me push this all back out so I can see my telescope. There it is. All right.
Rename it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing anything yet. You're right. Thank you. In my zeal to get it recorded, I might, in fact, do that. And this is a GC, a globular cluster. All right. And this is Messier 3. So now what we can do is come up here, and we're going to pause the stack here at 43. We're going to save it, and you'll see our green bar across the top, which is the astronomical file format, which you can look at, like I said, for free online. There's viewers. And now we're going to save it just like you see it here, and that'll be a PNG file. So when you look it up in the directory, you can just double click on it and look at it, download it, enjoy it to your heart's content. All of the stuff we do for you is free. We don't charge anything. We do appreciate the donations, and thank you so much for doing that before. Desi, appreciate that very, very much. And so that keeps us going. Now that we have Starlink, that's costing us $110 a month. After we spent $500 for the hardware to use it, to actually get it. But you know what? It's not active in the observatory now because we have to get someone there to actually do a changeover for a server, and that's all that has to happen. So, all right. Well, there we go. So now we can kill the stack here and move on to another object. And there's another
Check out
object.
53 now.
You got it. I agree with you.
I thought I saw that in Stellarium. Looked like they called it the Coma Cluster.
Really?
Unless I was looking at something else.
I don't know, maybe. Okay. Let's go now. Let's bring this back. All right, ready? Yeah, come here. Give me that. All right, there we go. All right. This is a live view now. It's not a stack. The stack, when we do the stack, what happens is we take an image, we take another image, and we align it, and we just keep adding them on top of each other. And what that does is it's a signal to noise ratio process. The more star images you stack on top of each other, the more the stars will become crisper and more defined on the sensor. If you just do one long photograph, well, then you've got noise from space. See this noise out here? This stuff out here, the stuff you see changing, all right, every second, all right, that's noise. And that noise goes away when we stack because it all gets averaged out in the end. And only the data, even if it's dark nebula, is left. And so we'll see those. All right. All right, so now let's back out of this. And I think we have a globular over here too. Is that the intergalactic wanderer? Snow globe cluster, ghost globular. I never heard of that. I have, but I haven't looked at it. All right, there's M53 over here, and there's another globular right near it. And then we're going to check out the Black Eye Galaxy, which is right above it. So here we go. We're off to see the wizard. And we're going to go enjoy Messier 53, followed by the Black Eye Galaxy, which is right up there. Alright. So we're heading over here to get Vindimatrix, which is, or Vindimiatrix, however you pronounce it. And then we will have M53, wherever this star gets centered, M53 will be right there. So that's not bad. So Messier 53 should show up right there. There it is. Yeah, I like precision. What can I say? It moves it over a little bit to put it where it was. Hey, Donald Kunzer. Who punched the galaxy? That's right. Donald Kunzer says, who punched the galaxy? Talking about the Black Eye Galaxy. Alright. Okay, so we're just gonna... Oops, I meant to do the other way. Just gonna head north a little bit. We're gonna head west a little bit. Center it up. That's good. And now you see we're searching for our guide star, and that gives us time to set up our exposure. Let's do 14 seconds on this guy, and once that starts guiding, we will be all set. There we are. We're guiding, so off we go now into the live stack.
I see your gains at 250. Are we dark enough yet to turn it up?
We might be. And I had it at 250 for that very reason, so
Yeah.
which you could imagine. Oh wow, there we go.
That's nice too.
That's another beautiful cluster. Now you see all this noise? See this, how speckled this looks? That's noise. Watch this. As soon as we take another exposure, see how that started to go away? That's the averaging process of the stack. Stack, 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 and then all that stuff is averaging out. So that's why it's getting darker and darker and darker and cleaner looking. And that's the advantage of stacking images. Alright, so we've stacked 3 so far. And now what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll just do a color correction, followed by a process, brighten it up a little bit, and sometimes when you recognize that the correction is not quite right, you can actually manually drop some of these levels, which is what I've done. Daryl, do you have any objects you'd like to see tonight?
We should probably go back to the Leo Triplet since we missed it the other night.
That's correct, because Izabela
And
wanted to see it.
Yeah, I was thinking M109 also. That's if we make it up to Ursa Major.
Okay. By the way, guys, one little thing. In Galaxy season, one of the things that's really interesting is you stand a chance of making discoveries because not everybody's looking at these galaxies when we are. Okay, just because they're out there doesn't mean someone's actually actively looking at a galaxy. So if we look at a galaxy such as the Black Eye Galaxy, such as M109 or M81 or M82, we might find a new star in one of these galaxies, and this would be a supernova, and then we'd be credited with the discovery. So it could be STLS 1 or something like that, or how do you be if it's the first one of the year? Then it'd be like STLS 2022 1 or something like that. That might be what they would say, but I'm not sure how the International Astronomical Union, the IAU, chooses to name them. And if someone sees one, it's possible that someone else somewhere in the world has already seen the supernova that might be occurring in a galaxy like that. Hey, David Schmidt, how are you? Genghis, how's it going? Good to see you. Mahavishnu Orchestra? What's that?
It was a group back a long time ago.
All right.
50 years ago.
Oh.
Something like that, or 40 some odd years. Back in the 70s anyway, I think. If not earlier.
Okay. I'm reducing the brightness of the center to actually show the stars better. Let's just zoom in on that. Oh, we're at 200%. Holy cow. Okay, so this is about 100%. Izabela, I did go out of focus, and the camera has an autofocus system on it, so I'm not sure why it did that. It could be because of the proximity of the microphone. I have this radio studio microphone that we use to keep the sound level at the highest quality possible. It's pretty though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this is 19. We're gonna go to 20. Which is one more, and then we're going to pause it, save it. I already labeled it up there, and this is M53, and it's a globular cluster.
Do you have it up in Stellarium?
I do.
I'm just curious what the distance was for this one.
Yeah, let's find out. Okay, so this is M53. Okay.
Izabela asked a couple of minutes ago how many globulars circle the Milky Way. I don't remember offhand. There's a bunch. I would say hundreds maybe offhand.
Yeah, maybe. I don't. Typically, you might see like 170, 150 on some galaxies. Bigger galaxies have more generally. Not sure how many we actually have.
Yeah.
Okay, they give a distance of this one is 58,000 light years, but
Yeah, I see that.
I'm
It's
not
even
so
farther
sure.
away.
Well, maybe if that's an accurate value. We've known Stellarium to be wrong at times. But this is M53, a beautiful globular, and it's labeled up there. So what we're going to do now is come in here and pause the stack. Finally, we'll save the stack.
150.
150, okay.
Milky Way is host to around 150 known globulars,
Okay.
and a few more likely to exist hidden behind the thick disk of the galaxy.
Okay. Very cool. Based on distributions, filling in the gaps for the ones they can't see in the other side of the galaxy. Okay, so now let's do this. I never did any globular cluster research in astronomy. I was always working on stars. I found runaway B stars that are very, very hot leaving our galaxy.
Well, who was it who? I'm trying to remember the name of the Schleifer, the guy who surveyed globular clusters.
Oh yeah.
Vesto Schleifer. I don't remember, and he figured out considering their position on the sky and where they fell. I think he was the guy that figured out Sagittarius was the center of the galaxy.
That's right.
I'd have to look that up.
Well, we're heading up to the Black Eye Galaxy while you're doing that.
Okay.
The Black Eye Galaxy, I did a private stream the other night. Not private stream, but, well, for me, private observatory session. And we checked out I checked out the beautiful Black Eye Galaxy, and it did not disappoint. It really did not. So.
William Herschel was the first to do it.
Vindimatrix again, and then up to the Black Eye Galaxy.
Shapley, Harlow Shapley.
Okay. There's our Black Eye. Well, Donald, here's who punched the galaxy. And it really does look like it has a black eye.
Yeah. In 1918, Shapley used this strongly asymmetrical distribution to determine the overall dimensions of the galaxy. He used the position of the clusters to estimate the position of the sun relative to the galactic center. He correctly concluded the Milky Way center is the Sagittarius constellation. He did that back in 1918.
Yeah, he was doing that with this positional data too.
Yeah.
Okay, 25 seconds now on the Black Eye Galaxy. We're going to clear the previous globular cluster. Goodbye. You're up on that server, though. And then we'll see this beautiful galaxy. If you've never seen this galaxy, you're in for a treat. Yeah, we're going to zoom in on it as soon as the first image comes in. And the Black Eye Galaxy, well, you'll see why. It's called the Black Eye Galaxy, if you haven't before.
This is M64.
Black Eye? I
Yeah.
believe it is.
I think we called this the I'd rather fight than switch galaxy a while back or something like that.
I think so. Well, there it is. And this galaxy is really interesting because it actually has a a really interesting, as you can see, a really interesting dark lane that sort of stands alone in the galaxy. And why the distribution is like that is strange. There has to have been an interaction that caused this. I'll tell you why. In the absence of gravity, things are evened out. The distribution will be even because stuff has time to become homogeneous and straightened out. If there is something that's not, or if it's not homogeneous and not straightened out, then it means that we're looking at something that's interacted with something. Okay, so that's what's happening. Galaxies with their spiral arms generally come from one of two things: what's called a density wave, or there has been an interaction in a galaxy that actually caused a ripple effect that led to a spiral formation. Spiral formations are very, very common in galaxies, and they're also very common in planetary formation and in star system formation. You'll see spiral structures appearing in models that we produce to show how solar systems form. You'll see those spiral structures, and it's a natural consequence. So it turns out that the spiral nature of the arms is something that is, well, it's something that's kind of built in to the universe, you know. So here, this is a push on this to show you some more details. All right, and now what we'll do is we'll even it out a little bit to just kind of really show you some more better detail. And we're not even enhancing yet. If we come to enhancements here, which you see right there, we're going to actually turn on something called the Unsharp mask. And now watch how the galaxy gets brighter and sharper. You see that? All of a sudden you can see it a lot sharper. That's the Unsharp mask at work. Unsharp masking was something that I learned back in the 1970s. Shh, don't tell anybody. And we used to actually do Unsharp masking using physical film, and we would actually we'd do something called gas hypering to make our film more sensitive, all right, and pull out more detail.
Remember gas hypering?
Yeah, it was all a bunch of hype. I tried it and I never got a result.
It was expensive. There were a few places that would sell you hypered film. And I bought a roll once, and good grief, that was expensive. And it didn't work well for me.
Well, you know why? Because they discovered that gas hypered film has a shelf life that's really short.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what was gas hypering? Well, they would actually bathe the film that used to be in the canisters. Used to buy film. They would bathe it in a forming gas, and that gas would permeate the emulsion and make the film extremely sensitive.
Yeah.
And it worked if you could hyper it and then use it. But if you buy it, put it on the shelf for a couple of weeks, and then use it, the hypering process wasn't permanent. It was sort of like a haircut. You know, you get a haircut, but 3 or 4 weeks later you need another one. Okay, well, gas hypering needs to be done periodically as well. You can't do that and just say, well, okay, I hypered an entire roll of black and white film. Now I'm set for the summer. No, you're not. You're set for one roll of film as long as you use it in the next week. You know, it wore off, in other words.
Yep.
So what they started to do was sell the hypering kits that you could buy yourself. And then you could actually, basically what you do is you buy these little cans of this gas, and you had a little squeezy thing, and you would have this chamber. You would put this chamber, you put the film in the chamber, you would remove all the air with a little hand pump, and then you let the gas go in. And then you sit there, and it'd stay under this forming gas for 48 hours, literally. And then, when you took it out, you go use it. And it's not like you can say, well, I'm going to just take 1 shot or 2 shots. And you got a 24-shot roll is usually how the film came. So it became a problem. And so I was begging for digital before digital even happened. I wanted something with instant gratification, you know. And we didn't know anything about digital at the time, but you know what? I think it's good that it's happened.
If you look at the galaxy, two what looks bright stars or something there left of the nucleus, and one that was about six to it.
This here
You
and
think
this
those
here.
are just foreground stars?
Well, we'd have to actually look and see,
Yeah.
because this galaxy seems remarkably devoid of knottiness, you know, as in Knottines.
Yes.
And so I don't expect to see anything knotty in here, but you never know. I mean, one thing I got to do is, now that we've got this here, and I made a comment about it, I'm going to pause this at 16 frames, save it like this, and save it exactly as seen. And I'm going to clear the stack. I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to get out of this, go back to our 1 second shot. Yep. I know, I just blew out somebody's eyes. I apologize. Okay. And now we're going to back out of this, go to our fill the frame mode. We're going to fill the frame, the camera mode. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to refocus. So I noticed a little bit of a focus problem that I want to correct.
Look like you're a little darker in the center too.
Well, that's true. That's because I'm automatically subtracting a dark the flat frame.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Will you excuse me a moment, please?
Sure thing.
Right back.
All right. Okay, so we're just going to go in here to the focus tools, do the multi-star full width half maximum, and we're going to scan in, and it's going to build our curve again like we talked about earlier, and we just have to wait for that to happen. Then it finds its perfect focus, and then we assign that perfect focus and keep going. This is not. I'm going to answer your question here, Genghis. Go away! What are you doing? Stop it. Let me show you the type of the galaxy. Right, this black-eye galaxy, all right, is it's a type. It's an SA. Okay, so see that this capital S, capital A. That's the Vanculars, that's the Vaculars. Sorry, I have trouble with that name. Vacular designation, and that's a spiral, and it's a cross between an A and a B. That's what the little A, little B means. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So it's a tightly wound spiral. All right, so it's not a lenticular galaxy as you had asked. Is it a lenticular? Okay, now that we have our focus position, let's go ahead and set that position. So we're going to go all the way across to the worst one and then come all the way back to the best one. There we go, and then back we come, and boom, now we have perfect focus. And then we can get rid of this. All right, and then do our temperature compensation again. Now we're gonna do another exposure of about 14 seconds, the same thing. All right, and that's I want to actually see what we get from this. Our live stack should be fine because I already cleared it. So it'll be coming back here. We'll see it come up right here. Just a few seconds. Oh, wow. Okay. And let's go into our stack and let's go into our adjustments. We're going to move our black level a little bit to the left of the curves, which makes the background a little bit brighter, which gives us more detail in the galaxies. You see it's getting a little bigger on the screen, a little bigger in detail. Wow, look at that. That's just a stunning galaxy. Okay. And because our system is so well put together, we can actually zoom in quite a bit. Wow. Now that is a pretty shot. You can actually see the spiral arms now pretty clearly here. They're very tight. See, lenticular galaxies don't really show any spiral arms. All right. Exactly an SA, capital S, capital A galaxy, Izabela, and it has an AB, a little A and a little B. That's the Devacular's designation, which means that it's not an S0A, it's actually an SA, and then the AB means that it's a cross. It's almost a B, but not quite, because the spiral arms are pretty tight, and you can see they are. The spiral arms are pretty tight there. Come here. Let's check you out. That's nice. Wow. Yeah, that's nice. I'm telling you, I like it. Interesting, we got a little dark spot there. I haven't seen that before. That might be a little dark knot in this galaxy. We're at 136%. I'm going to go even higher. Wow. Okay, we're almost 200%. Hello there, Ronald, ERRT Radio. How you doing? Good to see you, man. We're going to let some more exposures mount up here. Okay. And so we have some modeled noise here. I'm going to try and, under enhancement, I'm going to use a bilateral filter, which will help get rid of some of the noise. So watch the noise kind of vanish a little bit. There you go, see? And it actually helps you view things a little better. And Daryl's back.
He is.
This looks pretty. Look at that.
It does, yeah.
That black eye galaxy looks really nice.
Uh-huh.
I cannot get enough of galaxy season, let me tell you. Really pretty stuff. We stacked 17 of these already. Remember, we're taking lots of pictures because we want to make these available to you, so they're going to be available on the server. And if Izabela doesn't put it up, Daryl gets to it too as well. I'm doing 15 things at once here between two screens. This is the broadcast screen over here. This is the actual observatory feed screen over here. So I just want you to be able to see these things and enjoy them. And so does Daryl.
It's interesting, the at either end of the black eye, it looks like there's a black dot, especially the one on the right.
You weren't here when I mentioned it, actually.
Oh.
I said, look, at this end, there's like this black dot. I said, I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
And then at this end, you can see it's actually got a little stringy piece of black dark nebula here that's coming down through. That might be the same type of thing, but some of that might be kind of going in another direction through the interaction that caused this side to have this asymmetric dark nebula in it. So in 3 dimensions, you know, this could be, the galaxy could be a disk like this, and that dust could be up here. It could be up higher or up in front, and so elevated out of the disk of the galaxy. We don't know. There might be studies though that show that. I know the Hubble Space Telescope images of the black eye are just stunning. Here, let's zoom in more. Okay, so this, and this you're talking about, along with that, and that. Okay, these are probably foreground stars.
Yeah.
And so maybe these are also foreground stars. Not sure about this greenish blue one. That might be something, a supernova remnant in that galaxy. I'm not sure.
Looks a little green.
Yeah.
M64, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Really pretty. Actually, let's go take off the bilateral filter and just leave on our sharpening. So now when I take it off, it's going to get a little sharper everywhere. Okay. As you can see, it's now sharper. Right. That's really pretty. We got 1, 2, 3. This is definitely a different color. Have to check that and see if that's on the actual photographs of the Black Eye Galaxy, and see if maybe that's something that we're capturing that is in the Black Eye Galaxy. You can actually, I've never seen this before, we actually see a separation between this material here and this material. This looks like a knot of material at the end of a strand, and then there's another strand right here, and then there's stuff in between, filling in between.
What?
You see it?
I looking at the Hubble image. Would you like to show it?
Yeah.
There is there's a lot going on inside the black eye there, including looks like both H2 regions and OB associations.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna post it in your chat.
All right, then I'll just drop it up. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see the thing up on the at the one end. I mean, that's pretty much inverted to your image.
Yeah.
The little kicked out tail of dark on the one end, and what we see is the black dot on the other end.
Yeah. All right, sorry guys, I was just trying to show that to you, and I realized it's not gonna work there. So I'm gonna make a couple changes here. Just give me a moment so you can see it. Okay, so this will be no, we don't want that, but what we want there we go. That's what we want. Okay. Now, there it is. That's the black eye. Look at that. Now you can see why the Hubble Space Telescope is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that beautiful galaxy.
And if you look at that end right there toward the top, that's that tail thing sticking out that you noted on your image.
Yeah, and then down the bottom. At this
There's
end, we should
one
see
dark
the other one.
concentration there right next to that big blue association, which is probably the dot we saw at the other end. That right there.
Yeah,
Or
let's go
the next one up to the right.
Yeah.
That right there.
Let's go find out. All right, so here we go.
It's quite a picture.
Yeah. Well, it is twisted around, so this end here, those fingers that you see right here, those are what we saw here. And this other side, it's probably this dot right here that we saw. Right? Actually, this dot right here, sorry. Right here. This is probably what we saw. And the fingers are up here. Those are at the bottom because we're flipped around.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back to this again. All right. That's neat. I'm liking that. All right. All right.
Yeah, that tail really shows up.
Yeah.
And the bigger black dot on the other end.
Yeah. Yeah, which is actually attached to all this. So that shows really nicely.
Yeah.
Not bad for just trying to show a few galaxies, huh? And of course, we're at 200%, so...
Yeah, I noticed it was actually pixelating a little bit when you were
Oh, yeah.
really zoomed in on it.
Yes. Agreed. All right. Well, let's get our telescope back into view here. All right. And let's now go through and take. Let's save this. First pause. And I've got Black Eye Galaxy labeled up there. There it is, saved. And then we'll save it just as you see it. So you can go enjoy these pictures yourself. They're going to be smaller on yours so you can zoom into them. And it's going to save the ping file. Okay, just to get an idea of how far, how much more reduced in size it'll be. This is the size that's going to be on the image. So you're going to want to zoom in to that image, okay? Just so you know. Okay, let's get rid of the stack. And that's good.
Good guess, not that I remember a
What
name
did he
to
say?
the black hole from that movie. Or was it a real specific one? Yeah, the ship was called the USS Cygnus.
Yes, that's right. I don't think they even named the black hole they went to, right?
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
I remember I saw the Siskel and Ebert review of that movie when it came out.
I'm sure it was
Yeah.
not pretty.
No, it wasn't. Overall, I had to agree with it, but I remember Ebert said that the black hole wasn't even black. And from what we knew of black holes at the time, it really wasn't a bad representation of one.
No, they just used again. They used not in camera effects, but they used what are called practical effects. You know, they didn't have computer rendering capabilities, so they actually built a glittery, draining thing and used that as the black hole. And
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad.
It sort of had an accretion disk around it.
Yeah,
Which
because
is
like
why it wasn't black.
like any draining water does, you know.
Science Bob, the good guy ship may have been the Palomino.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I want to say the big ship that what's his face, the crazy German guy.
Maximilian was the robot.
Maximilian Schell, the actor. I think the big one was called the Cygnus. It looks sort of like a flying Eiffel Tower, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of windows and stuff that were impractical. But, you know, that's the way it works.
Oh.
The other thing, too, is the main killer robot was Maximilian.
Yes. And I always wondered if they didn't name it after Maximilian Schell, the actor who played the bad guy in the movie.
I'm sure it was, because he was considered one of these amazing actors of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, what was his name? Richard Mason, who played Nemo in the Disney version, right?
Yeah. I know Maximilian Schell had this crazy look on his face, and sometimes I wondered if that wasn't him seeing his career going down the drain before his very eyes.
Oh, you are just not kind.
It was a pretty bad movie.
It was, you know.
Well, you know, it was Disney's response to Star Wars.
Yes, it was.
Well,
79.
if Star Wars had R2-D2, Disney had to come up with an old 49er miner robot, you know,
That's
to
right.
take his place.
And it had to talk like this.
Yeah.
Thank
James
you, Izabela.
Mason.
James
Thank
Mason.
you, Donald.
Yeah, I said Richard Mason.
You did.
Didn't I?
Actually, that's my brother's name.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, James Mason.
Yeah, James Mason. I'm Nemo. Captain Nemo. You, Mr. Land? Lash them to the deck. What? No, you can't do that to us. Hey, come on, that's murder. You are trespassers here on the Nautilus. Okay. This is... all those ellipses are galaxies. There's so many here. But let's go to the Leo Triplet, because we promised Izabela that we would do the Leo Triplet, and I have it in the search here just so we get to it. And it's literally straight south of us right now, almost. So here we go, the Leo Triplet for Izabela. And by the way, we're going to do a longer exposure to Izabela, and you will see that X-ray jet coming out of the Hamburger Galaxy.
They turning up the gain would help.
Let's try it without it first,
Right.
because galaxies are sensitive to the gain, and I don't want to have so much noise there. You know, we'll see.
All right. I think
We
it
may
might
have
help
to
with the that faint part.
Yeah, it may,
jet,
but we're
whatever
gonna
it is.
we're gonna try a longer exposure.
Very good. She says it's
See.
not an X-ray jet.
Actually, it is, but it is an X-ray jet, but it's not. It's got a visible component. Look it up, Izabela. There we go. Go ahead.
Help me out. What's the NGC designation for the Hamburger?
I will tell you in a sec. Let's go see. The Hamburger Galaxy is a 3628. Okay.
Also known as Sarah's Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one discovered by William Herschel. He was a busy
Right.
guy.
Well, he had his sister Claire helping him out, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know, the only thing left of that telescope is just a segment of the barrel, basically, and the mirror. And you know what the mirror was? You must know this, of course, but I'll tell everybody else.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No,
You can say
go
it.
ahead.
All right. The mirror was actually polished metal. It wasn't even glass that had a coating on it. It was just ultra polished metal. You knew that, obviously, so.
I did. It's called speculum.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna let we're guiding is searching. There we go. We've got our guide star. And there it goes. So now we're gonna do a 35-second photo of these. And do a live stack of that. Let's waltz with the flowers. Oh, we're searching again. Sometimes it does that. That usually means it found the guide star but didn't like it, so it restarted. So we might have to do this exposure over again. We'll see. Here we go. Let's find out. Oh, we have a satellite that went right through. Phew. Let's go in here right now. Oh, looks like we're okay. Now the faint jet we're looking for is right here.
It is faint.
Yep. That's the Hamburger Galaxy right there in the triplet. Let's back out. Once we get more exposures, we'll be able to see more details. A scratch and a negative. It actually does look like a scratch and a negative. I'll get the jet to show up, don't worry. Izabela says, I see no jet. Don't worry, we'll get it to show. I got it to show the other night. Daryl and I both saw it. You did see it, right?
I saw it when Izabela and I were talking about it. I don't remember seeing it with you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because I did see it. Boy, look at this. We're getting surrounded by satellites. We have another one come right through here.
Luda.
There it goes. Lots of beautiful details in this galaxy. Alright, let's go and zoom in on the Hamburger. Zoom out a little. Okay, first things first. Let's color correct. In the histogram, we're doing the color correction. Do a color correction. And now alright. Might need more. What do you mean too much faith, Izabela? Hello, Esoteric Gold. How are you? I taught it to a putty tat. Yes, not worry about the blue. Now, I saw this the other day. Okay, it's starting to show up here. This little vertical line starting to show up right here. Good night, Papa Tom. Thanks for coming. Can you see it showing up? There's a line right there showing up.
Say again.
There's a line showing up. There's a jet showing up here.
I am seeing it in some images other places. The one side I'm on right now says it's a satellite galaxy.
As opposed to an X-ray jet, because there's an X-ray jet too.
I haven't seen anything about X-ray jet yet. I have seen mention of an X shape somewhere in there, which I haven't seen yet either. But yeah, the little fuzzy blob under the galaxy, the one place I'm reading at the moment calls it a satellite galaxy.
Okay.
Still looking.
I read something about the quasars, and there was an illustration showing the actual shape of this jet. Did you look up Hamburger X-ray jet?
Not yet. About to.
All right. Okay, now you can see it even better. Right there.
Okay, here it is.
You could. I don't know if that's one of the quasars or not. That might be. Because there's a couple of them right here, and there's actually another quasar up here. That I can't see, but it's there.
Damn it, that's a PNG file. NGC 3628 is known to have a strong X-ray source. X-ray ejection from the nucleus of 3628.
I think that's it right there.
There's another one.
And that's, I think, might be one of the quasars right there. This is the jet, and there's the quasar, possibly. Well, the jet, Izabela, she says, tell us the story of this jet. I don't know this particular Benny, and the Jets. Thanks, Genghis. That's funny. But in general, an X-ray jet is generally due to strongly active nucleus of a galaxy. And what's it active with? It's active usually with a supermassive black hole. And the supermassive black hole will sometimes, through its poles, shoot out very, very powerful jets of energy. And energy doesn't come from anywhere. I mean, it doesn't come from nowhere. I mean, it's as it shoots out energy, the black holes are losing energy as they do that. So they are evaporating very slowly. But they're also, in the process, in some cases, of consuming other gas and other matter. So it sort of balances, possibly even falls on the wrong side and just keeps growing, like the Virgo cluster galaxy, not too far away. But I think that we're talking about this guy right here is the jet right there. And that might be one of the quasars right there. That's what I'm getting at. Let me go see. All I can tell you is, also, Izabela, there's no coming back from being exposed to the power in that X-ray jet. There is not. Let me just kind of push this a little more, see if we can pull out some more detail. Yeah, see how clear that's pretty clear now. I think that, if I recall, one of the quasars is actually sort of in line, but not quite in line. That might be one of them there. There were two. So I'm not sure. Genghis asks, those jets, is that something that James Webb can image? Actually, no, unfortunately. Unless the jets are heating up the interstellar medium and material in the infrared, you might be able to see something. But in general, X-rays are at the other end of the spectrum. They're in the very, very high energy region, and infrared's in the relatively low energy region. So high in the blue end, far off the blue chart into the invisible blue, like the ultraviolet. Beyond that is the X-ray. And down in the infrared, which is heat, it's all the way past the red visible part of the spectrum, the exact opposite direction. So I'm not sure that the JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope, will have good luck looking at this. You know?
I have up an article and image from European Southern Observatory.
Okay.
And I'm still looking for the X-shaped thing in the galactic plane. Maybe I see it, but it says also that the little blurry patch beneath the galaxy, that it's a satellite galaxy. And it says nothing about quasars.
Okay,
or
or
X-ray jets.
Yet you know that there is one there because the other articles showed it and talked about it. Jeez, look at these satellites. All right, we got 19 stacked here, 35-second shots. Looking good. Okay. Jeez. Let's just frame our view. Wow. All right, let's try and process this a little bit differently.
Oh, okay. See. Also visible as bright spots near the lower edge of the image, the two blue star-like objects below the satellite galaxy, yes. Okay, are two quasars, the central engines of distant and very energetic galaxies, billions of light years away.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this is one of them right here. In your image, does it show them right here? Kind of in this region?
Stand by. Let me go back to you. Where?
Right here?
Maybe.
Okay.
I really don't see the satellite galaxy.
Okay. I mean, I see this shape. Is it a perpendicular thing to it, or is it?
Yeah, you're in about the right place right there, and it may just barely be showing it. We have Izabela and I saw it the other day, and I don't remember where we got the images at, but it was quite distinct. It was a little fuzzy blob hanging down at about a right angle from the center of the main galaxy. Mm-hmm. And this ESO article and image says that it is a satellite galaxy to the Hamburger, and that the two quasars are just below that satellite galaxy.
Yeah, much further away than the galaxy, of course.
Billions of light years away, yes.
Yeah.
I could try to send this to you. I don't know if you want to mess with it or try to show it or not. If you click on the image, it will it'll embiggen it.
Embiggen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let me let's go back out a little bit here. We're at 154%. Let's go to 100%.
And I still don't see the X shape they were talking about.
Okay. I'm gonna go to 50%. That should show us them all. There we go. All right.
Okay, I just sent it to your chat.
Yeah, I got it.
And if you click on the picture, it'll get bigger.
Kondokin.
Okay.
All right, so this is what we're seeing. Okay.
Now, that fuzzball itself is a satellite galaxy.
Right.
They said the two bluish objects are down near the bottom edge of the image, if I remember correctly.
Which is...
If you go back, click on that X to close that image, and the caption will come back up.
All right. Where's the X? Right there.
Right there. And if you scroll down in the text now, it talks about the quasars next to last paragraph. Also visible as bright spots near the lower edge of the image. Parentheses, the two blue star-like objects below the satellite galaxy are two quasars.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take that away from you.
No, that's fine. I read it.
Oh, so there's a blue one there. There's another blue object here. Maybe it's these. That's cool. Wow. I'm telling you, this beautiful stuff.
Do you see, if you look at that, just right of center of the main galaxy, up in the dark band, an X shape? Maybe that's it, to the left of where you are. That
Like
right,
this?
that right there, yeah.
Okay, I
Like
see
that's
that.
the X shape they keep talking about.
Okay. Maybe. Not
And
sure if you'll see that in ours.
Yeah. This is a peculiar galaxy too. It's an ARP galaxy.
Okay.
ARP thought it was strange enough to... Anyway.
Very cool.
So yes, there are two quasars there.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the galaxy, and then this is probably one of the quasars. That looks like the upper one of the two quasars, and the lower one may not be visible.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there we go. Well, Izabela, here is your Leo Triplet. This is all for you. Yeah. All right. So, we have taken 30 shots here. This is great.
I'm intrigued as much as anything by, I guess it's M66, the lower galaxy on the left.
Okay.
I know we've looked at before how distorted and strange looking things are going on inside it too.
Yeah, that's
looks really very bright and very torn up inside.
It does.
Can you zoom in on that?
Into that.
You're welcome, Izabela.
Yeah, you can see there's H2 regions in here of all kinds. You can see there's a lot of interesting OB associations, very, very hot, bright stars, blue stars here. And definitely there's been gravitational and other types of interactions, without doubt.
That's pretty
Now,
wild.
if we go to this guy, okay, this one looks a little bit more regular. And he has, and this one has beautiful dust lanes in it as well.
Yeah.
Actually, you can see some convolutions in the dust lanes here. This is a pretty elaborate galaxy, pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Probably a OB association right here where it's really bright. You know. And if you aren't at 1080p, make sure you are, guys. Okay, so this is 200%. Let me back out. All right. Very nice. All right, see that? Not bad. I can't believe we've already done 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think we have time for one more, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, first things first, let's save Izabela's triplet with 34 stacked images, Izabela. So we're paused. We're going to save the Leo Triplet. Here we go. Got our green line across the top there that tells you, what we've done there. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, there we go.
That makes a little more sense now, reading that ESO article. I guess I was under the impression that the quasars were somehow associated with that satellite galaxy.
Okay.
And they're not.
They're even further away.
Yeah, they're like 1,000 times farther away.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you want to look at next?
I'm not sure yet. Well, we're done with the Leo Triplet, that we know. But let's actually save the Leo Triplet here. And then we're going to... I think I did this already, but I'll save it again. Doesn't matter. When in doubt, save it again. You can always delete the extra file. You can't add one that's not there. And then save exactly as seen. Then we'll clear it. And we're all set. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, I don't want to do 35 seconds. I'm going to do 1 second. Sorry. Sorry, folks. It's okay, Mm-hmm. There we are. Okay. All right. One more we want to do. Let's see. We have so many galaxies to do that we can check out. I was thinking come up here, and I thought we had what galaxies are the eyes?
In Virgo?
Is that the eyes?
In the Virgo cluster?
I'm asking. I don't know. I don't remember where the eyes are.
Oh, yeah. They're not far from Markarian's chain in Virgo cluster.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's where I am. How about, because there's Markarian's chain. All right, let's get out of that so we can clear the space here. There we go. Well, we have the Blow Dryer Galaxy. What the heck is that? I've never... These names.
That's got to be a Stellarium name.
It's M100. Yeah, alright.
I know there was, I don't remember which one it was now. It was another Messier galaxy right in the Virgo cluster that I think we actually caught when you took a image of Markarian's chain during a recent stream.
Okay.
One of them near the chain was, I forget what it was, M88, something like that.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Should we try M109 again? Because we tried to do it the other night and we had too much wind. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, if you like, sure.
Okay, let's do that because I want to check that out. So here we go. We're heading up to that. Now let's see what we're using for a waypoint star. Alright, well that's easy. Fecta.
Yep.
That's a trifecta.
I can read that from here.
Yeah.
Careful what you say. I can tell you my trifecta story sometime.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Alright. No worries, Izabela. She says, I owe you a big one for the hamburger. No, you don't. You're not wimpy. She probably doesn't get that. Okay. So here we are.
She asks if you can bring up the clock on the screen.
Oh, where is it? Yeah, where'd it go away?
I don't know.
Oh, I know why it went away. Sorry, guys. I totally messed you up. Yeah, here we go. I apologize for that. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay. Alright, so now let's move this over and check it out.
It's not very impressive. That's just a 1 second. Yeah.
Give it a moment. I think it's going to be very impressive.
Just a 1 second exposure.
Yeah. I think this is sort of like a canted SB spiral. So let's do a 35-second exposure of this and see what we get. I predict it'll be a little more impressive than not impressive. All right, that's my guess. Let's wring our hands together and say, amazing. And don't forget our little lesson about the universe and expansion.
I always liked the raisin
AOG.
bread analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, this should be really nice.
I told you.
Messier 109, it's another barred spiral.
Yeah.
It's another sort of a steering wheel galaxy. It's got a weak inner ring structure around the central bar.
Yes, it does. Let's just balance this stuff and get rid of this. There we go. So there you go. So now you can see the bar already. This is a barred spiral. Looks like a barred spiral anyway. Let me just check. Yeah, it's in the Vocular's classification. It's a capital S, capital B, which is a straight barred spiral. And it's a, in terms of the weakness of the spiral arms or tightness of the spiral arms, it's a B/C. It's a BC. So it's kind of a what they call a hybrid. Now, see, I told you to give it a chance, and look what you got. That's a beautiful, beautiful spiral.
Yeah. Several other
Without
galaxies
doubt.
in the field.
Yeah.
One
That's
down
right.
to the lower right, one over to the left.
There. Yeah. And then this is Fecta here. That's how close it is.
Uh-huh.
And we're at 50%, by the way. So if we actually were to actually go back to fill the screen with our sensor, we have more galaxy down below. See?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot here. A lot going on. A lot more galaxies than we realize are out there. All right, let's zoom in because it can. Look at that. Let's try the bilateral filter here just to see about softening that noise.
Yeah, you can kind of see the steering wheel too.
Yeah,
The inner ring.
yeah. Yeah, right here.
Yep.
It's very obvious when you see these arms being here. Well, the way that works, yeah, it's a textbook barred spiral, Izabela, just like you suggested. The way this works is galaxies, when we look at the rotation curve of galaxies, the stars farther away from the center don't rotate in the same way that like the planets in our solar system do, where Mercury whips around the sun in 88 days and Pluto just leisurely goes around in a couple hundred years. All right, that's called differential rotation, differential orbital speeds. And galaxies are similar but not quite the same. They actually are more like a rigid disk, but not quite. There's still some lag and still some what's called differential rotation. Like I said, differential rotation. And so that is responsible for the spiral arms trailing off like this at the ends of the galaxy. But the fact that this has spiral arms at all is a result of two possible scenarios. One, a burst of star formation that sheared the stars out into a long train from differential rotation, or it is from a density wave induced by a passage by another galaxy that went by it nearby and sent basically a ripple into the galaxy, and that's all it takes to set this up. Because remember, the only gravity they feel is from themselves, so if something else comes by, it doesn't have to be that close for it to have a serious effect on the galaxy. You know, this is really pretty though.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the vacuum cleaner galaxy, otherwise known, this is 109, right? M109.
Vacuum cleaner.
Why vacuum cleaner? I don't even
Got to be another Stellarium name.
Maybe.
It's like blow dryer galaxy.
Yeah.
It's interesting looking back at the Leo Triplet.
Mm-hmm.
Messier never saw the Hamburger Galaxy. It's the dimmest of the three galaxies, but you know it's right there, and it shows up well. And you'd think Messier would have noticed that, but he never did. It's another one Herschel found.
Well, Herschel had a 40-inch telescope.
Yeah.
And Messier didn't have a 40-inch.
Well, he had like a 4-inch refractor, if I remember right.
Yeah. Wow. me turn off the bilateral filter. It's still needed, but we'll turn it off just to see what we get. Okay, let's turn off the sharpening, which will also soften us a little bit. If we want data, we should really turn on the Unsharp mask. That helps us see the data better. Look, now we can see this beautiful realm of O and B stars here, these hot blue stars in the outer. We see a line of them right here. And we see another line right here, right there, all the way around there. So these stars could have formed and then been sheared by differential rotation over time. But look at the barred spiral. Here's the bar. See, we got the nucleus, and then we have this extension to the nucleus. Why do barred spirals form this way? We don't know. There's ideas about the morphology and how they're created, but they do stand alone as a very, very interesting shaped galaxy. We've got 13 captured so far.
And the bars evidently maintain their shape too.
Mm.
Yes, Ronald.
Okay, well, Ronald asks, is all that light from stars? Not everybody's reading the chat. That's why I have to repeat the question. We have people just watching who aren't looking at the chat. Especially the ones that go full screen, just watch it on the big screen TVs. So...
Cindy Murphy says it looks more like the Batman signal than a vacuum cleaner.
That's right. Here it is. There it is. There's it's Batman. Da, 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 da. Yeah. It does look like the Batman signal. But here is that steering wheel that Daryl was talking about earlier. It's a spiral arm that's sort of wound up on itself a little bit as the galaxy's rotated. And there's differential rotation. Now, I got to tell you, if the stars orbited the galaxy using the same type of physics that governs the way planets orbit stars, every galaxy in the universe would already be wound up tight. There'd be almost no spiral arms anywhere. But because we see them, it shows that most of the galaxy is spinning like a rigid disk, and it basically it's slightly different. Okay, if you look at the curve's almost flat, all right? But it does have a little bit of a slope to it, which indicates that there is a slight differential rotation, and that's all it needs to be responsible for this kind of behavior, where we're seeing this this circularity and spiral structure. All right. Yeah, it's beautiful. You can see this OB association much clearer now. One here, one here, one here. There's 3 rows of them. 1, 2, 3. And there's one big row of them here that you can see. That's really nice.
I saw the bat signal in a crater on the moon once.
Really?
Yep. It was a shadow of a mountain or something, but it looked just like the bat signal.
That's funny. Holy moon man, Batman. Yes, Robin. We have to get to Commissioner Gordon right away. The original series?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Taryn Marie. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for dropping by. This is our last object for tonight, because Daryl has an appointment tomorrow, as do I. It's 11 o'clock for you.
11:08.
Yep. All right. We're going to go to 20, and then we'll stop it here. Okay, Anahata 77. So how does that relate to the near multitude of spirals around our beloved place in space? Our sunflowers, conch shells, hurricanes, tornadoes go. Okay, that is an excellent question. Bonnie's basically asking, how do spirals like we see in space relate to the spirals we see in nature? Not all spirals are the same. Not all spirals are generated by the same mechanism. But just like the pyramid that we see in Egypt, the pyramid is actually, we constructed pyramids, but pyramids also occur in nature. So too do the Sphinx, the lion, half man. Okay, those Sphinx are called yardangs, actually, and when you see the way they're sculpted by the wind, yardangs look like the Sphinx. I'm guessing that the yardangs were the inspiration for the Sphinx, actually. I don't think the Sphinx is a yardang. I think that the appearance of yardangs throughout their territory gave them the inspiration of a man-lion god kind of a thing, as they were terming it at the time. So as far as spirals go, we see this structure throughout nature. It's in DNA, the double helix. From the top, what does it look like? It looks like a concentric curves. Okay. We also see spirals in other constructs. In the conch shells, like you mentioned, Bonnie, we see the spiral nature. If you cut them, you'll see there's a spiral in there. Where does that come from? Is that related to these spirals? Probably not the same reason. Most likely not the same reason. These spirals we see in these galaxies are created through density wave theory, as we see it, and that comes from ripples that occur in space due to gravitational concentrations, like two galaxies passing near each other, and it imposes a ripple that can actually be drawn out, and the spiral is the natural outcome. Example: if you were to look at a galaxy over time, you'd see that the stars near the center, although the stars outside, if this is the galaxy, rotating, although the stars on the outside are actually rotating just a little bit slower than the stars in the interior, you would notice that they're getting dragged out, so they'd be curved. So they would actually make a curve or a swept out line over time as the galaxy rotates, because some would be getting left behind from the main rotation in here. So that's the differential rotation. That automatically leads to a spiral pattern. And that's something that we see, like I said, in nature. But again, all spirals are not created equally. Oh yes, David Schmidt says, the organ in this music reminds me of the first few seconds of Boston's Long Time, just before it kicks in. Actually, if you want to see a really good rendering of Long Time, look up Rachel Flowers. Rachel Flowers, blind since birth, learned how to play 10 or 12 different instruments, and she plays Long Time unbelievably. And she'll do it on a piano, then she'll get up, and she can't see, so she's very cautiously moves to another Hammond organ with a synthesizer, a Moog on top, and she begins to play other elements. Also, she plays Emerson, Lake and Palmer stuff. I mean, it's just phenomenal listening to her. You guys, if you're interested in seeing a true artist, Rachel Flowers, look her up and tell me what you think next time you see her. Rascally Rabbit, yes, Rachel Flowers. Really, really good.
I saw Boston in concert.
Me too.
When they toured off their first album. That was back like 1977, I want to say.
I saw them in Hartford, Connecticut, at the Hartford Civic Center. That was the first concert I ever went to. Was Boston. Tom Scholz on the Hammond organ. Oh my God, the guy was fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy,
M109. I'm gonna save it.
When they did Foreplay Long Time,
Yes.
man, I mean, the sound effects he got with that guitar thing is
Yeah.
It sounded like a tornado in the arena where they were playing, and then they went into it, and it was great.
Yeah.
They rocked.
I remember that. All right, so we save this now as the M109 Galaxy. That's up on the server. We're heading up there now. And so we will clear this and get rid of it. And now we'll go to 1 second here. And like I said, it's 1:14. It's a little bit late. I know you have to get up, Daryl, and you said you were going to have to turn in sometime soon.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go here and go and fill the screen, and we know the object. We're gonna pull that out of there. All right. Okay. Well, this is beautiful. I think we had a good night, guys. Got to spend
Yeah, it
some
was
time
fun.
looking at some things.
Yeah. David Schmidt, it was not at all uncommon that they would smash the noses of old statues. Even going back to ancient days, Egyptians did it themselves.
Well, what was his question? What did he say?
He's got several paragraphs there. The one part they're talking about what happened to the nose on the Sphinx, and there was one story that the army of Napoleon Bonaparte did it when he was
Really?
campaigning in Egypt. Yeah, that they shot it off.
Well, it does stick out there, doesn't it?
Not like it used to.
I know, right?
Okay. Well, great stream, Mark. Thank you for having me,
Yeah,
and
this is
thank you everybody
wonderful.
for coming.
Yeah, this is great. Yep.
The Sphinx is a very old story.
Yeah.
Long before Oedipus and the Sphinx.
All right. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the planetarium program. It is now closed. And we're now going to park the telescope. So here we go. And this will give us a position, a known position where the telescope will stop. And that gives us everything we need to know. And then when we start up, it will start from a known position. That's the whole idea of parking. And you can see it says it's slewing the telescope now to our park spot. Then it's going to say, turn off the telescope. And there we go. And now the telescope is off. All right. And that's it. And now we can disconnect and go night-night. Well, folks, thank you so much for coming. It was really nice to see you here. And I look forward to seeing you on the next clear night, which could be tomorrow. Shh. Maybe not, though, because I have a call time on the set for... Well, actually, I'm not supposed to be there till 2:30, so I might be able to do this and sleep a little late Friday morning. All right, guys. You have a good night, and we will see you again soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for coming. Of course,
Good night,
Daryl.
Daisy
Thank you
and
so
Zoe.
much. Good night, all of you. And by the way, Divine Appointment. I'm sorry I didn't even say hi to you. I apologize. But thank you for coming out and check out our streams offline too. Incidentally, folks, we have over 500 streams that we've gotten up. I thought we only had like, I was telling people, well, I got about 135. I went up and looked, there's over 500 streams up there. It's like, what have I been doing? Wow. Anyway,
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
take care. Thanks for having me, Mark. Good night,
All right,
everybody.
Daryl. Good night, folks. We'll see you later.